The Nintendo Switch, a remarkable piece of hardware that kicked off Nintendo's comeback story. Coming off the Wii U, Nintendo had a laundry list of things to do to win old fans and new fans back. And although their story in the end did become a success, even though they made some questionable business decisions, what really proved to help them was their longevity, their slew of amazing games and software, and just the development of so many exclusive titles. This week, the Switch 2 comes out, and some of you may already have it in your hands, some of you may be waiting for it to arrive at your doorstep, and some of you may be waiting for Best Buy to refresh so you can order one. Regardless, I thought it would be fun to look back at Nintendo's now last generation console and see what top 10 games spoke to me. Let's do this. I know, Mario Kart 8 is a Wii U game. That's exactly why you're wrong. This one has the word deluxe in it. Kind of a big difference. Jokes aside, I feel like it would be a crime not to consider Mario Kart 8 Deluxe a new experience. Yes, at launch it was essentially Mario Kart 8 plus its DLC with a few extra bells and whistles. But since then, the game has evolved and been given new life. Booster Course Pass doubled the number of tracks, added new characters, and just brought fresh air into the game. Battle mode was completely rebuilt from the ground up, introducing new maps and even new modes to the entire series. Online ran smoother and the item balance was improved from the last game, and all this just makes it clear that even Nintendo saw Deluxe as a flagship title, and they've been riding its success since 2014. I know it's a controversial pick to start the list with, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe stands the test of time and feels like a complete Mario Kart experience, all wrapped up into one package. Luigi's Mansion series has always held a special place in my heart. Honestly, it's probably one of the games I've played the most in my life, thanks to its short and sweet nature. It's always been an easy pick up and play experience for me. So when Luigi's Mansion 2 was announced, I was absolutely ecstatic. But unfortunately, once I got my grubby hands on it, I was kind of left disappointed. The original Luigi's Mansion oozes personality through its single atmospheric setting, whereas Luigi's Mansion 2 replaces the charm with Luigi himself. While Luigi is a fun and quirky character in the sequel, the multiple mansions never really struck a chord with me. When Luigi's Mansion 3 was announced, I was excited, but also a little nervous. Thankfully, when I played it, I was relieved to see that the personality returned not just through Luigi, through the hotel setting as well. It might not be as spooky as the original, but it's definitely more creative, fun, and imaginative with better puzzles and gameplay mechanics. Roaming the hotel was always a joy. Although I still hope one day we return to the spooky vibe of the first game, Luigi's Mansion 3 remains one of the most polished and beautiful games available on the Switch. I've been a Splatoon fan since day one. Ever since the first demo dropped on Wii U, I have been sold to this franchise. 3 games in, and in my opinion, the series just keeps getting better and better. The thing with Splatoon is it's always coming with these annoying limitations though. Maps only being available at certain times, entire game modes being on a schedule, and online restrictions thanks to, well, Nintendo Switch Online. But behind all that chaos is a really fun experience. Splatoon 3 polishes the already enjoyable gameplay from the first 2 entries and just rolls with it. No pun intended. It's not drastically different from Splatoon 2, but that's okay. It didn't need to be. All it needed was a fresh coat of paint, again, no pun intended, and some expansion on the world and lore. Splatfest continued to be a blast, and Salmon Run really steals the spotlight in this entry. And even though most of the game is built around online play and multiplayer, the single player mode is a real gem as well. Despite that, I've never really had any issues with the online play. No lag and maybe the occasional player dropout, but nothing that made me want to pull my hair out. Splatoon franchise continues to be a blast and proves that this is Nintendo's true multiplayer experience. In 2020, the world was dealing with a global pandemic that shall go unnamed because YouTube doesn't like that word. While we were stuck inside, most gamers weren't working in real life because they were working on their Animal Crossing islands in the meantime. Animal Crossing New Horizons wasn't just a moment in Animal Crossing history, but it was a defining moment in gaming history. It felt like everyone was playing it, similar to the Pokemon Go summer of 2016. It was that big, and the sales numbers reflect it. Friends and families came together to make the most of their experience. The online communities were thriving, exchanging items, sharing tips, showing off their islands. So what did I think of the game? It's good. Yeah. Listen, I love this game, but I'm gonna be honest. I think I only really loved it because of the experience that came with it. Being stuck indoors and basically being forced to play with my friends helped me get the most bang for my buck for sure. But it's not a game I really think about often anymore. Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. Progression felt slow, and while the game opens up a lot creatively, with like path making and island decorating, there are still plenty of cumbersome systems that hold it back from evolving the series in a meaningful way. That said, it's still a game I hold close to my heart and one I genuinely enjoyed. And it even made my mom buy a Switch, so that was cool. Pikmin series is a weird one. Pikmin 1 is a fun, original idea, while Pikmin 2 is more difficult than fun in my opinion. And Pikmin 3, that one's a masterpiece. And then, well, we don't talk about that one. So when Pikmin 4 was announced, I was curious, what was it going to be like? Well, turns out Pikmin 4 takes the best elements from the franchise. A wild mix of 1, 2, 3, not you! And combines them in such a natural, well-designed way that it feels like a culmination of everything the series has been building toward. The challenge caves from Pikmin 2 do return, but this time they're integrated into the world so organically that they feel like they're part of the environment instead of a random underground gauntlet. There's even a mode inspired by Pikmin 1's 30-day survival mechanic. On top of that, Pikmin 3's brilliant multitasking system is back, allowing for smooth, strategic gameplay. All this combined with Pikmin 4's new game mechanics and fresh Pikmin types creates an experience that's deeply underrated. Like seriously, in 2023, I really wanted this to be my game of the year. It was so close. But another game just barely stole the crown. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Spoiler alert. Pikmin 4 excels at making you feel productive at every moment. Whether you're sending Pikmin to haul resources back to your base, or perfectly organizing a platoon to take down a boss, there's a constant satisfying sense of progression. More people need to play Pikmin. Like for real. Go play Pikmin. Play Pikmin! Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were a childhood game that I put so much time into. They were the first Pokemon generation that really introduced heavy lore implications for the whole series. I mean, it's the generation that introduced God himself. As a kid, I was always a little disappointed though that Game Freak didn't take that concept further. Arceus, the God Pokemon, wasn't really explored much outside of his movie. He had an in-game event program, but it was never officially used, unless you're a kid with an action replay, which was me. When Generation 5 came out, I hoped they would expand on the idea of Arceus and its divine lore even more, but Game Freak just moved on from it. Over a decade later, I finally got my wish. Pokemon Legends Arceus not only added more story and context behind Arceus himself, or itself, herself? I don't know. It also shook up the franchise formula with a unique story, well, sort of, and brand new catching mechanics. Even if you don't have a nostalgic connection to the Sinnoh region, I think the gameplay is interesting enough to keep anyone engaged. The world becomes your safari zone, and the Pokemon that inhabit it do not take kindly to your presence. The fact that they can attack you is awesome, and terrifying at the same time, and the Pokemon in the world feel believable. Like they have their own living schedules and behavior patterns. Although the game gets criticized a lot for its graphics, I actually think it looks quite nice for the art style, especially coming off of Sword and Shield and Diamond and Pearl remakes, which, in retrospect, was really making me start to worry about the series itself. But Legends Arceus reminded me that Pokemon still has a few tricks up its sleeve. In my opinion, it's the best Pokemon game since Black and White 2 for sure. Quick Randy lore drop. When I was in college, I was studying marketing and wrote a paper on the failure of the Wii U. I won't go into detail here, but it was a paper I was very proud of. I often wonder though, if I had gone to college a few years later, would I have written about the success of the Switch instead? There are many reasons why the Switch succeeded, but perhaps one of the most important factors was The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It's one thing to launch with a Zelda game, but it's entirely a different ballgame when you launch with one of the greatest games ever made. The game not only put Zelda back on the map, but it also just put the Nintendo Switch in a spotlight it desperately needed. I knew friends and family who bought a whole console just for this game. Breath of the Wild did a lot for me personally. It got me excited for Nintendo hardware again, and it got me excited about Zelda again. It opened me up to open world games in general, because before Zelda, I was really never an open world gamer. But Breath of the Wild showed me that, when done right, you can create an expansive, beautiful living world. Honestly, it's a game that set the bar so high, it's hard for me to look at other games the same. That being said, it's not perfect. It has incredibly high highs and very few lows. But one of the lows that disappoints me is that it doesn't feel like a traditional Zelda game. I get why it's different vibe, different style. You're gonna get different results. I get that. But it just feels like it's missing that Zelda charm. Zelda music, Zelda lore, Zelda characters. I don't know, I just feel like it misses the mark just a bit. That being said, what Breath of the Wild did for the gaming industry is nothing short of remarkable, and could be described as the savior of the Nintendo Switch. Every time a 3D Mario comes out, it has big shoes to fill. Unless you're Mario Galaxy and you're following Mario Sunshine, because then you have it easy. Mario Odyssey came after the Mario Galaxy duology, some of the best games ever created, or 3D World, if you count that. I count that. You should count it. It's a good game. I'll die in that hill. But because Mario's showing on the Wii U was a little bit lackluster to some people, people were hungry for a true Mario experience. So what do we get? A masterpiece. Mario Odyssey is the definition of endless ideas. It feels like the devs wrote down a bunch of wild concepts and then figured out how to make them all fit into one game. It's fun, it's rewarding, and the platforming never gets old. The capturing mechanic is a stroke of genius. Like other great Mario games, its ideas never overstay their welcome. Honestly, I kinda wish they would, because they're so dang fun. What really makes me love this game though, is its structure. For me, it always played like a Banjo-Kazooie game. The way you can roam freely around each level, how completing objectives doesn't kick you out of the world, the abilities you gain from enemies, it all screams the Bear and Bird to me. Who knew Mario would give me the Banjo 3 I never got? Super Smash Bros. Is the series that just keeps on giving. Ever since Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the franchise has delivered non-stop epic reveals, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is no exception. I never understood why people call it just a port of the Wii U version. I mean, sure, it shares characters and stages with it, but like, so does every other Smash game. The menu, the main theme, the polish, it's clearly a new game. You can't argue that. It's like all the Smash games mashed into one, but even that feels like an understatement. What truly makes this the ultimate Smash is the gameplay. The tweaks make it the most polished, balanced, and snappy entry in the series. But we have to talk about the characters. So many people's dreams came true with this game. From Minecraft Steve to Kingdom Hearts Sora, these characters should not exist in this game. They should not exist in the same universe. But Smash Bros. Has evolved into something beyond just Nintendo. Because of that, so many franchises are celebrated with new music, art, and even trophies. Well, no trophies in this game. Spirits though. For me, the day Banjo was announced for Smash was the moment I knew this game would land in my top 10 games of all time. It was truly a special moment I'll never forget, and I thank Smash Bros. For giving it to me. Where the franchise goes from here is a little scary, but I feel at peace knowing I'll always have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Breath of the Wild changed my life. Does that sound extra? That kind of sounds extra. It also set the incredibly high bar for what a 3D Zelda game could be, let alone a video game. But like I said earlier, it was missing some of that classic Zelda charm. The music, while still good, just wasn't Zelda good in my opinion. The story was fine, but coming off of Skyward Sword, it felt a little lackluster. What truly pushed Breath of the Wild to greatness though was the gameplay and environment. Still though, I had my gripes. Tears of the Kingdom manages to not only expand on everything about Breath of the Wild, but introduces its own fun quirks too, like introducing a whole new sub-area beneath Hyrule, new expansive caves, and countless sky islands. Between all that though, it fixes many issues I had with the original game. The music is better, the story feels more complete, still not better than Skyward Sword though, making this game feel like the complete package. And it doesn't stop there. The physics engine got a massive upgrade with new mechanics like reversing time, phasing through ceilings, and building just about anything. From cars to planes to, well, very questionable contraptions. This 3D Zelda game became the ultimate sandbox, the true final form of Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. I hate you, by the way. Also, I just mentioned Banjo in the last 3 games. Banjo 3, you must be close. Tears of the Kingdom is one of those games where you just sit there for hours with a dumb grin on your face the whole time. It blew my expectations out of the water, even when the bar was already sky high. Like with Smash Bros., I honestly don't know where the series can go from here. But until then, I'll be replaying this masterpiece on my Switch 2 in glorious 4K at 60 FPS. Hashtag not sponsored. And those were my top 10 Nintendo Switch games. The Nintendo Switch will always hold a special place in my life, but whether Nintendo moves on from it or not, it also has a special place in my heart. Growing up during a time when Nintendo was on top with the Wii, only to watch them crash and burn with the Wii U, and then rise from the ashes with the Switch, it's definitely a roller coaster I didn't sign up for, but as a Nintendo fan, I'm happy regardless. Now, 8 years after the Switch release, we have an incredible library of games to show, and Nintendo just showing that they're staying focused or locking in. And because of that, I believe that there's going to be many more years of amazing titles to come. But now, on the new Nintendo Switch 2. Let me know what your top 10 favorite games on Switch are. Let me know what games you're looking forward to, whether they're on Switch or Switch 2, Donkey Kong or Rhythm Heaven. And yeah, just let me know and comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This was my first top 10, so it was a lot of fun, and yeah. I'm gonna go play my Nintendo Switch now. Okay, well, I'm not gonna play my Nintendo Switch now because I don't have it yet. It's being recorded like a month before the Switch 2's out. But when this is released, the Switch 2 will be in my hands. Make sense? Bye!